Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
College, we've got you covered. Safe, affordable, health conscious. Our tuition is less than $20,000 a year, and scholarships are available. Make your best decision ever and apply today.
To some, this is just a ball. To Iowa Farm Bureau, it's much more. It's opportunity for small-town kids to make it big. It's our youth, our community leaders, our past, our future. It's hopes and dreams, passion and pride. To Iowa Farm Bureau, this is the reason we work so hard. This is Iowa. Iowa Farm Bureau. People, progress, and pride.
Good afternoon and welcome to Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines, Iowa, the home of the girls' state basketball tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau. Alongside Laura Leonard, I'm Emery Songer, and in just a moment we'll have the matchup between the Exira-EHK Spartans and MMCRU Royals right here on the Girls Union Network powered by Mid-American Energy. But first, let's take a peek at how these two teams got themselves lined up for this matchup, the 4-5 matchup in the quarterfinal round of Class 1A. The Exira-EHK Spartans, 23-0, unbeaten, fifth state appearance in 7 years, defeated Lennox in the Region 8 championship, ranked fourth in the state, Class 1A, very chalk for the most part, getting to the state tournament. They're going to be taking on an MMCRU team here for the first time as a combined school district. Marcus Merritt and Claycorn, Rims and Union are the 5 words in that acronym. 21-2, and they defeated Westwood in the Region 7 final. Ranked 5th in Class 1A. These two teams pretty even on paper, and this should be a fun matchup here. Exira is the home team on the scoreboard in the higher seed, but Marcus Merritt and Claycorn has played a more difficult schedule this season. We'll take a break and come back, and Laura will give you the Seeds for Success brought to you by Kruger Seeds, and we'll have your starting lineups as we get set for tip-off. You're watching the 2021 Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network powered by Mid-American Energy.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
And that's halftime, folks. I'm Gus Johnson, and it looks like the Clarks are starving. Over to Dad.
He goes for the Casey's app.
2 handmade pizzas.
Incredible! Casey's curbside pickup. What a play! Bringing it home. Boom! He scores with Casey's Pizza. Order any large Casey's Pizza. Score another for just $5.99.
Casey's for the win.
Exira-EHK and MMCRU getting set for the Class 1A quarterfinal. Emery Songer alongside Laura Leonard. And Laura, let's go ahead and get you some Kruger Seeds for Success. Let's start with Exira.
What they need to do is value the basketball. They cannot afford to have turnovers and give extra possessions, and also need to play with a high IQ. They need to be smart. They only have 8 players. They have a limited bench, and so they have to be smart about their game plan.
Very small roster. MMCRU, they definitely have a larger roster. What do you think for them for Kruger Seeds?
They want to work inside out. Get those post touches and see if they can work it inside. If they collapse down, kick it outside to the shooters. And then they need to be disciplined on defense. They can't afford foul trouble either, and so they need to be smart, be fundamentally sound on the defensive side of things, see if they can turn their defense into offense.
Definitely. Today's Seeds for Success brought to you by Kruger Seeds. The next time you're in need of corn or soybean seed, give your local Kruger Seeds dealer a call. Kruger Seeds, first-class seed, first-name service. Learn more at KrugerSeed.com. We'll take our final break before the tip-off between Exira, Elkhorn, Kimballton, and MMCRU. And when we come back, you'll have team introductions and starting lineups. You're watching Girls State Basketball, presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
You are my favorite place to go. You're at the end of my favorite.
You work hard to feed them well. That's why at Fairway, we work hard to give you the freshest produce, the highest quality meat, and the most affordable prices.
It guides me home. I got it. You're my favorite.
Fairway Meat and Grocery. It's what we're all about.
Welcome back. We are live from Wells Fargo Arena. Emery Songer and Laura Leonard with you, getting set for the 4-5 matchup between Exira, Elkhorn, Kimballton, 23-0 this season, taking on MMCRU. That's Marcus Meriden, Cleghorn, Remsen Union. They're 21-2 this season. The Iowa Bankers Association, proud to help students reach their goals, both financially and educationally. That's why they are honored to provide 5 student athletes from this year's basketball tournament with $1,000 scholarships. Follow their Facebook page, facebook.com/Iowa Bankers, to see the winners. Well, just any final thoughts, Laura, before we get started here? Obviously, the first thing that you notice is you have 8 players on one side and a full roster on the other side, but Exira has won all of their games this season with these 8 players. So what can we expect from this game, considering that there is a perception of depth issues, you would think, for Exira, but it hasn't been a problem all season to this point.
It's a mindset for them. They lost their lone senior, Tatum Grubb, to an ACL injury, and they're playing with 8 players. They understand what they need to do. They understand the rotation. Everybody has their role, and as I said, it's just a mindset. It's them against the world, kind of a Hoosiers type of mentality, and they're coming in looking to win this ball game.
Well, if you do remember, Hoosiers, those Hickory Huskers, they did have 8 players, and it took them all the way to the state championship. So a little bit different, and that one was in the movies, but definitely a team that hasn't lost so far this season and have found a way to get all the way here, and that is certainly something to keep an eye on. If you're wondering how close the closest game they've played, they won both their regional semifinals and regional finals by 10 points each, but most of the season, mostly blowouts. They had a couple that were within 5 points, but other than that, I mean, they are unscathed at 23-0, a very talented team. We'll go ahead and see what they have to bring against a very good MMCRU team as well in the Class 1A quarterfinals. Let's go ahead and go courtside for the introductions. Here's our public address announcer, Tim Fitzpatrick.
Good afternoon, basketball fans, and welcome to today's 2021 Girls State Basketball 1A quarterfinal matchup featuring the visiting team, the MMCRU Royals, and the Exira-EHK Spartans. Fans, tradition is an important part of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union's storied history. Because our past is an integral part of what we do today, we ask that everyone in attendance please join in a round of applause to show our appreciation to all the women who have participated in high school athletics in Iowa. Once an Iowa girl, always an Iowa girl. Fans, at this time, the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and the Iowa Farm Bureau would like to recognize the outstanding sportsmanship shown by MMCRU High School and Exira-EHK High School. In recognition of the importance of good sportsmanship, each state qualifying school is asked to nominate a spectator who represents their school and community in a sportsmanlike manner. Leah Reese, a member of the IGHSAU Student Athlete Advisory Committee, will present each nominee with a certificate of recognition and a $250 check payable to their school scholarship fund. Please join us in honoring these individuals whose decorum and respect for others serves as a model for all spectators attending interscholastic events. From MMCRU High School, Jerry Martin. And from Exira-Elkhorn-Kimballton High School, Connie Grubbs.
The Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union encourages positive behavior, pride, respect, leadership, and sportsmanship on the court and in the stands.
Remember what a great privilege it is to see your team compete.
Thank you for your attendance and enjoy the game.
Thank you for your attendance and enjoy the game.
Fans, it's now time to introduce the players in today's 1A quarterfinal matchup. First of all, here are your non-starters and assistant coaches for the visiting team, the MMCRU Royals. Number 5, Molly Ryder. Number 13, Isabel Olson. Number 15, Kirsten Lecce. Number 25, Avery Schlenger. Number 31, Hannah Nedemeyer. Number 33, Maiken Yude. Number 35, Maya Holmes. Number 41, Tori Tenninger. Number 43, Kennedy Tenninger. And number 51, Mackenzie Meyer. Your assistant coaches, Derek Mara and Danae Dreckman. And now let's meet the non-starters and assistant coach for the home team from Exira-Elkhorn-Kimballton, the Spartans. Number 4, Haley Snyder. Number 14, Tatum Grubbs. And number 34, Hannah Nelson. Your assistant coach, Corey Bartz. And now, here are your starters for this 1A quarterfinal. For MMCRU, a 5'7" junior number 3, Taylor Harpenaugh. For Exira-EHK, a 5'5" junior number 2, Elisa Partridge. For the Royals, a 6' junior number 11, Emily Dreckman. For the Spartans, a 5'5" sophomore, number 10, Quinn Grubbs. For MMCRU, a 5'5" sophomore, number 21, Cora Alish. For Exira-EHK, a 5'7" junior, number 20, Molly Rasmussen. For the Royals, a 5'10" senior, number 23, Jalen Bork. For the Spartans, a 5'4" sophomore, number 22, Shay Burmeister. And for the Royals, a 5'11 junior, number 45, Ellie Hilbrands. And for the Spartans, a 5'11 junior, number 24, Macy Emgarten. Head coach for the Royals, Jillian Lecce. And for the Spartans, Tom Peterson. Now, ladies and gentlemen, turn your attention to the area in front of the scorer's table. I'd like to introduce our umpiring crew for today's 1A quarterfinal as assigned by the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Bob Squires, Colin Friesman, and Gregory Henn. All right, who's ready for state tournament basketball?
All right, here we go. Their starting lineup for MMCRU: Taylor Harpenaugh, Emily Dreckman, Cora Alesh, Jalen Bork, and Ellie Hilbrands, as you heard here. And then for Exira, Elisa Partridge, Quinn Grubbs, Molly Rasmussen, Shea Burmeister, and Macy Emgarten. Before we get started, do want to thank one more time Iowa Farm Bureau, the proud title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union, for their support as the game gets going. The Iowa Farm Bureau has an office located in each county across Iowa, and we'd like to thank the offices listed on your screen for the two teams playing the game. Thank you, Iowa Farm Bureau, for supporting the Iowa Girl and IGHSAU. MMCRU with the tap, and they're going to get into their offense. Nice little underneath pass, pump fake, up and a miss. Good offensive rebound and put back. Ellie Hilbrands towering above the defense.
And that's exactly what we said they wanted to do, was get those post touches. It went in there 3 times on that possession for MMCRU. So they're going to work the ball inside out.
Quick foul called quickly here on Jalen Bork for the Royals. Royals wearing their black uniforms with that royal blue. Again, fairly new in terms of combining the school districts. First time they've been to state as this school district, and a steal, but leaving the ball behind there on the fast break was Harpenaugh. And then throwing it away are the Spartans.
Emgarten just led Grubbs a little bit too much. They got the steal, looking for an easy 2, but little adrenaline took over and got that pass a little too far out in front.
That's, my goodness, it is always a little feeling out process, no matter how much experience you might have down here. As that pass back to the outside. The free throw line, kick out on the drive. Alesh goes down low. Here's a kick out. Bork goes down underneath. Harpenaugh can't draw iron with the finish, but a good offensive rebound by Dreckman. She goes up and is fouled. You can already tell that offensive rebounding could be a problem for Exira.
Yeah, certainly doing a great job of crashing the weak side board and getting into position.
As Dreckman's first free throw settles in, she is a 70% free throw shooter on the season. Second one on the way. Front iron, but gets a friendly roll. And the full court pressure is instituted once again here for MMCRU.
Looks like a 1-2-1-1 full court pressure, but they do a good job of breaking it.
Yeah, until
then.
The big long arms of Ellie Hilbrands gets a piece of it and gets another steal for MMCRU. As long as she's the free safety back there, it's going to be tough to get a fast break bucket. Nice touch on that shot by Dreckman inside, and a quick 30-second timeout called by Exira Elkhorn Kimballton. 6-0 run in the first 93 seconds here, Laura. If you look at the size, you look at the depth, I mean, I know that Exira is unbeaten, and I know that they're undefeated, and I know that they're the higher seed, but everything with your eyes tells you this is a very challenging matchup for them.
It is going to be a tough matchup for them, and I think that's why they got the quick timeout, trying to settle everybody down, get them back into a rhythm, get them a little more comfortable, but it seems like the Royals have come out and they're ready to play, and they're coming out aggressively on defense. They're working the ball around very well on offense.
Okay, so the 2 losses this year were at Unity Christian and at Kingsley Pearson. They haven't lost since the middle of January. And if you think about where Unity Christian and where Kingsley Pearson ended up, it was here.
Right down here, yeah.
They're both pretty quality ball clubs. As there's a miss on this end, MMCRU, the rebound out of the timeout.
So they did a good job of breaking the pressure, and when you do that, you got to finish at the other end.
too long on the three from the corner. Rebound tracked down by Elisa Partridge. She'll settle it down. On the missed basket, they don't have time to set up the press, so maybe this will allow the Spartans to get back into their offense. Underneath, here's Imgarten. Up, under. I think that might have been partially tipped. Ball loose. Out of bounds, it'll stay here with Exira Elkhorn Kimballton.
They're just having difficulties when they do get the entry pass in down low. Having trouble to clear space to get a good look at the hoop.
Again, knocked out of bounds right on the entry. Exira Elkhorn Kimballton is a mainstay up here for the last 7 years. 5 times they have played in this state tournament. And that's, alluding to that experience, but still a smaller squad. With only 8 players available to play today. Into the corner. Back up to the top. Settling it down is Partridge. Get it to Imgarten. She'll fire the three and knock it down for the first points for Exira. She is their leading scorer. Almost 18 points per game along with 9 rebounds.
A good patient set offensively. Swung the ball around. Got the set that they were looking, or the shot they were looking for.
Offense for the Royals here. The drive, kick out to the left side. A lob pass, reaching over the top, making a good catch, but a good dig on that far side, Shea Burmeister, and then a foul on the fast break opportunity. You got to find ways to double down, because you can tell Hillbrands is going to be a problem down low offensively to try to guard.
And they're doing a good job of it, and we saw this in the game prior to this where the ball would go inside and the center would bring the ball down around their waist. That would allow whoever's digging down to come in and strip them or tie it up.
It's just what we saw there. We'll see if they can capitalize on it. Molly Rasmussen down low, kick out, back to the top. Burmeister is going to drive, little pocket pass. Rasmussen, kick it back out. Good defense by MMCRU this possession. Not allowing any clean looks either direction, inside or out.
And a good job to come back out and reset and start all over again.
Here's a three, Imgarten. Imgarten just a little bit short. Feels like everybody tries to shoot that NBA shot when we're here. Whether that line makes a difference in their eyes, I'm not sure. But there's a three, also pretty deep. No good. Look, even on a miss, very aggressive trapping defense from MMCRU.
Yeah, but they have the numbers, and they had the numbers because 3 players from MMCRU were back trapping in the backcourt. So once they were able to clear the ball, they needed to push tempo, and they did, and then the pass again sails a little high.
Kirsten Lecce enters the game, replacing Bork. That's an IMT insurance substitution. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. Alish with it. Trying to settle on the offense. High post. Hillbrands, her pass not accurate. Bounces out of bounds, and it'll stay here. From my vantage point, my angle, it looked like it hit MMCRU on the way out of bounds, but it'll stay here. Inbound comes to Harpanaugh. Backdoor cut. It was a good pass, good defense, and just unable to finish that time underneath is Dreckman, but it's knocked out of bounds, and it'll stay down here. Good stick-to-itiveness by Dreckman, although the defense was in good position on the backdoor cut.
Well, it was, but she did a good job of going straight up and down vertical on that rebound try.
Hillbrands around and out, can't get it to fall. Imgarten with the rebound, and the junior helps outlet the offense. Nice pass on the fast break by Partridge. Burmeister gets the bucket. Exira within 1.
Well, and that's how they've been able to beat opponents, is get the ball down the floor in a hurry. Initial break, looking to outlet quickly and push tempo.
Hillbrands tries to go against the double team, can't get the shot up. Ends up back in the hands of the Spartans. Outside the arc is Grubbs. The sophomore surveys. Drops it off. Imgarten again. Outside the arc. Got a whistle. And they're going to get a foul away from the ball, it appears.
I think a battle in the paint.
They're going to get Harpanaugh. Substitutions into the game. Tatum Grubbs and Hannah Nelson. A couple of seniors off the bench here for Exira Elkhorn Kimballton. Also back into the game, for the first time, Maya Holmes, a junior for MMCRU. Handoff. We'll swing it back to the top and settle it down with Quinn Grubbs. And she'll just pull it from top of the key. That's off to the left. The rebound taken. And now pushed up the floor by Dreckman. Her pass in traffic, unable to be completed. And here come the Spartans, a fast break opportunity, 2-on-2. All the way as Grubbs gets the finish off glass. And a 7-0 run gives Exira-EHK their first lead. 30-second timeout now for the Royals, but a good answer here by Exira.
And how about Grubbs? She missed that shot. You mentioned it. She pulled from deep, and it missed badly. But she hustled back defensively, got the steal, and then goes inline to inline and gets the two, causing the timeout.
Governor Kim Reynolds is here, sitting on the baseline, waving to the fans here, wearing her Cyclones mask. Pretty cool. That's got to be, she works up the street. Opportunity maybe to see a little bit of girls high school basketball, drops in for a Class 1A quarterfinal game. That's pretty cool for these girls.
I think it's fantastic, and there's a good look at that last replay. And that Governor Reynolds has helped to get this tournament off the ground and get it to be played again this year. And, thank you to Governor Reynolds for being understanding and being able to get these girls down to the state tournament.
Just think, it was about a year ago, about this time, that we had no idea what the heck was going on in our world, and here we are still able to play some basketball as we see the light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. Mid-range jump shot missed this time by Jalen Bork, and here comes Exira-EHK again, working off a 7-0 run. Grubbs again, goes with the left hand, tough shot, hit the back iron. It'll be rebounded again by Dreckman, and she'll hustle it into the front court. Dreckman, very long, athletic. She can pose some matchup problems as well in the backcourt. There's a catch and shoot from Alesh, and that one wide of the mark, and it'll go out of bounds to the Spartans. We have seen a lot of teams, especially in Class 2A and 1A the last couple of days, low field goal percentages. Not a lot of teams have had success shooting the ball from anywhere in this tournament so far.
And it just takes some time, I think, to adjust to the surroundings, and a little bit longer floor, and I think you're pumped up and a little tense maybe in the way that you're playing, and you just don't have your normal stroke when you're shooting the basketball.
The backdrop certainly takes a lot to get used to. You're used to shooting with a wall right behind your backboard. Here, there's no wall behind your backboard, just a bunch of stands. Good pump fake by Tatum Grubbs. Mid-range, no good. Rebound secured by the senior Jalen Bork. As both teams continue to struggle shooting the basketball.
Not a whole lot of offensive rebounds, so not a lot of second chance opportunities, and it seems like one and done for both teams.
It's a good catch by Bork on the backdoor cut, but could not finish the shot. And again, Exira with it. Imgarten, leading scorer on the season, hands it off. And that pass was tipped. It's still loose underneath. Eventually it's going to be taken. Grubbs, little mid-ranger, no. A couple of different Exira-EHK players run into each other, and that allows Bork to come out of there with the rebound for the Royals. Kick out. Dreckman, a three.
Finally get some scoring, and a long-range jumper to break the ice for either team.
They were at 17% from the floor until that shot went in. Now they're at 23%. It's been a rough go of it, but they still have a 2-point lead. Imgarten underneath. Double comes. The kick out. Stepping into a 2-point shot is Burmeister. Got it.
So both teams now kind of starting to relax. You get through one quarter, and I think you're going to see shots start to fall.
9-9. We'll see if MMCRU wants to use the last shot. Dreckman underneath. She goes reverse lay-in, gets her own rebound, and then is fouled. Gotta like her aggressive attacking and her stick-to-itiveness, and it'll give her a couple of free throws here.
I think both of these teams, you have seen that they don't give up on anything. Every loose ball, both teams going after, going to the floor to get it, to keep the possession.
Dreckman already has 7 points. If you're wondering, on the season, she averages about 16 a game. She is the leading scorer for MMCRU on the season. Right-handed shot, doesn't get the roll. As mentioned earlier, 70%. I mean, this is a do-it-all kind of player. A couple of subs here for the last 15 seconds. Exira will get an opportunity to finish the quarter with the basketball. Dreckman does make the second. 10-9, Royals the lead. Spartans one more shot here in this first quarter. Grubbs goes with the left hand, kick out, Imgarten wide open, three off the rim, rebound taken down by Bork, and there will not be a shot before the buzzer. And that'll do it. 1 quarter of play in the books. Quarterfinals in Class 1A, MMCRU 10, Exira-Elkhorn Kimballton 9. We'll be back with more after this on the Girls Union Network, powered by the Mid-American Energy Company.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Des Moines. The S's are silent. The fun is always loud. And now it's easy to plan your Des Moines adventure. Introducing the Catch List. A list of all things you can't miss. All the thrills, all the chills, hops and drops. Des Moines is a city of love that'll put a smile on your face. It's easy to picture yourself here. Find your adventure at catchdesmoines.com/catchlist today.
At Central College, we've got you covered. Safe, affordable, health conscious. Our tuition is less than $20,000 a year, and scholarships are available. Make your best decision ever and apply today.
Hey fans, Central College has a tuition price less than $20,000. That means the college experience that opens doors for a lifetime is now more affordable than ever, and scholarships are still available. Apply today at central.edu. Emery Songer, Laura Leonard. Interesting first quarter. Not a great shooting quarter for either teams, but it's just a 1-point game. MMCRU a 10-9 lead over Exira-Elkhorn Kimballton, who has the basketball now.
Well, you mentioned it, a little bit of a grind there in the first quarter. I think both teams trying to get comfortable on the floor, trying to figure out what defenses they're coming up against, and now that they're settled in, I think you're going to see an up-and-down type of game.
Foul on the entry pass. That is on Ellie Hilbrands for MMCRU. That is the 4th foul on the team, and the first on Hilbrands. Spartan basketball. Quinn Grubbs, she's got it. Gets it over to Macy Imgarten. She surveys and allows the offense to get moving. Molly Rasmussen with it. Back over to Imgarten. Thought about taking the long three. That is in her game, and she is not shy about taking those shots. It's over to Shea Burmeister. Back over to the side. Grubbs, in and out dribble. Tough little 12-foot jump shot. Banks it home in traffic.
Pulled up right before the defender got to her and used all of the backboard.
Quinn Grubbs showing a fearless attitude when it comes to getting in amongst the trees, and that gives Exira the lead. Here's a mid-range jump shot by Hilbrands, left alone.
Seen Hilbrands do some damage down low on the block. Now she steps out and shows a little bit of a range.
Now you got to guard her everywhere. And now she's going to almost get a steal. Elisa Partridge able to come up with it and save possession for Exira for now. Grubbs was sizing up again, kind of looking to try to penetrate the defense. She has had success doing that so far. Here is Partridge. She'll hand it off. Here's Grubbs, left side. Now she'll drive. Gets cut off. Leaves it behind. On the drive, here's Burmeister. Kick out. Three on the way. Rattles home from Rasmussen.
They tried, they drove, they dished, and MMCRU was good at covering up and recovering, but they just couldn't get there quick enough, and Rasmussen knocks one down.
That's great ball movement in the offense. Here is Alesh. It's a little bit short, but a good offensive rebound crash by Harpenaugh, and now she's going to get a chance to go to the line after the foul. Rasmussen picks up the foul, and it'll be 2 shots for Harpenaugh, who is a 65% foul shooter. First free throw around and out. That was just the 3rd team foul on Exira. And she just crashing in from the 3-point line. Nobody put a body on her, and she was able to draw the foul on the putback. Can she capitalize with one of these free throws? Spins the ball on her fingertips and knocks down the second. Cuts the Exira-Elkhorn-Kimballton lead to just 1. Bounce pass over to Burmeister. Sophomore surveys over to Grubbs. Grubbs stops and leaves it for Imgarten. None of these Spartans that started the game are seniors. We just have one senior on the team that's playing, and that is Tatum Grubbs, who we saw appear in that first quarter. Only 8 players on the Spartan roster available for today's game. Here's Partridge. She's cut off, tries to kick it back out. She does so. Mid-range from the free throw line. Wide open. Rasmussen, if she can knock down the 3, why not the free throw?
Right, just stepped in a few more steps and was able to get that mid-range jumper. And they're doing a good job of moving the ball and moving without the basketball.
And they have taken good care of it to this point. Here's Hilbrand's little spin move. Up, under move. Woo!
Nice footwork. Good awareness of where the defense was. Able to step by and get it off the glass.
She gave you the smorgasbord of post moves right there. Holy cow. The up, the under, the in, the out, and then a little scoop shot to boot. Rasmussen with it, outside. She's been the hot hand last few possessions. Now she's going to dribble drive, leave it for Grubbs. She thought about the 3. Now she'll drive. Kicks it back out. Partridge. And eventually they'll work it back to Grubbs. Thought about that NBA 3. Instead, she's going to drive left hand again. Too strong, high off the glass. And Jalen Bork comes out of there with the board. Harpinaugh, she's going to go all the way. Didn't feel the defense coming behind her. Throws it high off the glass, out of control. Rebound tipped and eventually taken by Burmeister.
You always like, when you're dribbling the ball on the fast break, you hope your teammates are yelling that somebody's coming behind you. And I'm not sure she heard anybody yelling, but they were able to complete it, just couldn't finish off the shot.
Now that puts a little panic in you when you start feeling that coming from behind. You didn't know it was there. Look at the steal by Dreckman. Dreckman stops. Good job. Didn't go out of control. Let the defender, Imgarten, fly by and laid it in.
And that's exactly what you want to do. You know that the defender is bearing down on you, so go to that jump stop, let him fly by and finish.
MMCRU retakes the lead. Imgarten thought about the 3, then lets it go. He hits the front of the rim from NBA range, but the rebound just kind of ricocheted oddly. Eventually, though, Harpinaugh steal. She's going to go all the way. She is going to get called for a charge. She finished it, but a good job by Imgarten this time, just setting herself up. And Harpinaugh could not slow up before making contact.
Coming right at you, and you can see that
that's a definition of player control foul, I think, more than anything.
Yeah. And I think, we saw the last possession where Dreckman stopped, made that jump stop. She could have done that right there and pulled up and shot that little jumper.
And she had help coming. She had a couple of teammates trailing her. But in the moment there, especially when you're hustling down the floor, you feel like a lot of times it's yours to shoot. Just a little out of control that time and gives it back to Exira-Elkhorn-Kimballton. Just under 3.5 to play here first half. MMCRU does have that 1-point advantage. Did get a substitution. Harpinaugh takes a seat. Entering the game is Molly Ryder. Nice little pass and the left-hand layup. And you better watch Molly Rasmussen. She averages 14 points a game, and she is feeling it right now.
And a great backdoor cut. Good read. Made the defender go one way, and then she cut backdoor the other way.
Hilbrands finds Ryder on the cut. Ryder cannot get the finish. Hits the deck. The rebound pulled out of there and hustled ahead by Partridge. Grubbs pulls up. Mid-range. Swish.
Well, good ball rotation again.
Well, team's definitely heating up a little bit more offensively here in this second quarter. Here's Ryder. Left side, back to the top. Dreckman wants the NBA 3. That one is short. The rebound, and Hilbrand's had all of the position there, and Rasmussen's going to get called for the foul over the top. 2:31 to go. We will have a substitution into the game here for the Spartans. Imgarten, after a very quick breather, will come in replacing Rasmussen, and that is an IMT insurance substitution. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. Molly Ryder. I did not see Partridge reading the passing lane. She gets the steal, runs all the way down, but her pass is eventually taken away. Big lob pass. Hilbrand's all by herself. She can take her time, and she will.
Yeah, we talked about taking care of the basketball and valuing the possessions. And I think both teams up to this point have really done that, but we've seen a couple of turnovers the last few times up and down the floor.
And a couple easy baskets out of them. Just a 1-point lead for Exira-Elkhorn-Kimbleton. 20-19, they have it. Partridge dribbling it. She'll give it to Grubbs. Quinn Grubbs with it, with that left hand. Drives on Ryder, goes all the way to the hoop and lays it in with the left hand. She loves that left hand, and if she gets that first step, she is dangerous.
And just methodically worked her way through the lane.
Yeah, there's going to have to be some help there when she gets that first step on a defender. Here is Alesh, Cora Alesh, Hillbrands. She's going to stop and hit that mid-ranger again.
I like what we're seeing out of Hillbrand. She's been inside, she's been outside, she's faced up, done a good job of getting position on shots on the offensive glass.
So she's got 10, Dreckman has 10. Only one other point has come from anybody in a black uniform. Another lay-in, Quinn Grubbs, and now she's in double figures with 10 as well.
They aren't going to slow you down. Continue to go to the well, and she did.
1 minute left here, first half. 24-21. Outside, Alesh waits for a screen from Hillbrands. Skip past Ryder, left alone for a three. That one just short. Long rebound out. Ryder's got it on the deck, looking for help, but throws it at Imgarten instead. Surprised there wasn't a panic timeout. You see a lot of players just calling for timeout when they're down there. Instead, it ends up being a turnover. 35 seconds left now. Exira looking to improve upon their three-point lead.
I thought they might bring it out a little bit and hold and wait for the last shot, but it looks like they're going to run offense.
And that's the same thing that we saw the other way, and it works out because it's a three ball buried by Burmeister, and all of a sudden Exira's got their largest lead of the game at 6. Dreckman, she's going to go all the way, have her shot blocked out of bounds. It'll stay here. Well, we saw it. I mean, neither team seems to be content with just holding the ball out. They would like to keep moving as going to get a substitution here for the last possession. Back into the game is Maya Holmes replacing Ryder for the last 14. And the entry pass was tipped, I think, by Partridge, stolen away. Burmeister ahead, looking for Grubbs. Good heads-up play by Alesh on the other end, knocking it out of bounds so the defense can recover.
Yeah, good hustle, getting back in defensive transition to slow down the run-out and a possible easy two right at the buzzer.
9.8 to go. One more chance for Exira-Elkhorn-Kimbleton. Grubbs, down low, Imgarten, guarded by Hillbrands. 6 seconds, kick out. Burmeister again! That is a huge shot at the end of the half. That shot will not count, and it was short anyway. Exira-Elkhorn-Kimbleton, an 8-0 run, 2 big threes, buried by Shea Burmeister, the sophomore, and just like that, it is a 30-21 lead for Exira-Elkhorn-Kimbleton. We'll take a break, come back with the halftime show, get you halftime stats, and a special presentation next. You're watching the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise, and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
The Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to present this amazing state tournament and celebrate the accomplishments of Iowa's top teams and student athletes. To the Iowa Farm Bureau, this is more than just a sport. It's a chance for a small town kid to make it big. It's our future leaders. It's a reason to do more, to be more. And it's that farm strong spirit that can be found only in Iowa. Congratulations to the student athletes, the coaches on a successful year. And remember, the task ahead of you is never greater than the strength within you.
I hear you're looking for a great college where you can get an affordable education. SWIC is the place for you.
I appreciate the personalized attention.
And I've gotten to meet people from all around the world.
The SWIC student housing is incredible.
I like SWIC's hands-on training.
And I'll start my career in 2 years.
I can schedule my classes online or face-to-face.
SWIC feels like a community, like family,
like home. SWIC is a place for you.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics, because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
At the half, Exira-Elkhorn Kimballton, an 8-0 run to take a 9-point lead over MMCRU, 30-21. We'll get to halftime stats in a bit, but first, we'd like to take a moment to once again thank our title sponsor, Iowa Farm Bureau, for their support of the state basketball tournament. Earlier this week, Tom Florian of the IGHSAU had the opportunity to sit down with Iowa Farm Bureau President Craig Hill for an interview to learn more about Iowa Farm Bureau's support of the IGHSAU and student-athletes across the state.
And we'd like to welcome you into the halftime show. I'm Tom Florian with the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. We hope you've enjoyed the first half of action here at today's game. The Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament here now in its 102nd edition in Des Moines, a great event for the state of Iowa. And we here at the Girls Union are so thankful for those who support us in putting on this fantastic event, none of which are more important and great as Iowa Farm Bureau, our proud title sponsor. Joining me now here at halftime is President of Iowa Farm Bureau, Craig Hill. Craig, good to see you.
Good to see you, Tom.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here. We want to tell the viewers about Iowa Farm Bureau and the support that you provide to the Iowa Girls Union. My first question to you would be, why does the Iowa Farm Bureau invest and support the Iowa Girls Athletic Union?
Oh, well, Tom, the Iowa Farm Bureau has been the title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union now for 16 years. And we're thrilled, once again, to be a part of what we consider to be the best girls' state tournament in the country. And it does showcase Iowa's elite teams, our elite players, and I would suggest our elite fans as well. But we recognize the pandemic. It has certainly made the trip to qualify for this tournament just a little bit more challenging. And, I would suggest that it's also a testament to the ability of our student athletes to adapt and to persist through these tough times. So we're just so proud of these student athletes.
And you mentioned the student athletes and how they've grown and persevered through this challenging year. Talk about why Iowa Farm Bureau is so invested in supporting Iowa's youth.
Oh, well, Tom, I'm a farmer, but I've always said that our kids here in Iowa are our most important crop. And that's why the Iowa Farm Bureau provides just over $250,000 in scholarships to students each and every year. More than $450,000 over the last 8 years for Iowa's teachers in terms of classroom supplies, as well as our sponsorship of 4-H and FFA and many other youth organizations, but of course, the Governor's Scholar Program. And we recognize academic students or academics and students in Iowa through that program.
And you mentioned recognizing and providing recognition and scholarship opportunities for youth in Iowa. But these student athletes here on the court today, they're actually taking home some other types of souvenirs, if you will, from the state tournament. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, each player will receive a signature ball, a basketball that coaches and players can sign. Everyone can keep as a keepsake and kind of a reminder of what the journey has been to get them here to the state tournament. So it's an opportunity for us to provide some good memories and keep that keepsake in front of them as they go on as being leaders in Iowa in our communities.
A cool keepsake, most definitely. Well, Craig, we are out of time here at halftime, but I want to thank you again for your support of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and everything that you do. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Tom.
MidAmerican Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs in building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
They say that imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Maybe that's why scientists are trying to recreate real meat. Trying to duplicate the taste and texture, often using more than 20 ingredients. But why tamper with what Mother Nature already perfected? A more complete, high-quality protein, Iowa raised meat is the original health food, with 9 essential amino acids necessary for the human diet. nutrients that are hard to get from plant-based proteins. Best of all, the real meat on your dinner table tonight was sustainably raised with love by Iowa farm families. As much as people may try, there's just no substitute for the taste, texture, and nutrition of nature's perfect protein. But hey, keep at it. It's flattering that so many products want to be us.
Sometimes people who seem to know everything.
Dental insurance costs a fortune and it covers nothing.
Don't. For instance, personal plans from Delta Dental cut the cost of many procedures in half. So be careful what you hear.
How important are teeth anyway?
Get the facts. Contact Delta Dental about saving with personal dental plans today.
Des Moines, the yeses are silent. The fun is always loud. And now it's easy to plan your Des Moines adventure. Introducing the Catch List. A list of all things you can't miss. All the thrills, all the chills, hops, and drops. Des Moines is a city of love that'll put a smile on your face. It's easy to picture yourself here. Find your adventure at catchdesmoines.com/catchlist today.
And that's halftime, folks. I'm Gus Johnson, and it looks like the Clarks are starving. Over to Dad.
He goes for the Casey's app.
2 handmade pizzas.
Incredible! Casey's curbside pickup. What a play! Bringing it home. Boom! He scores with Casey's Pizza. Order any large Casey's pizza. Score another for just $5.99.
Casey's for the win.
Back here at Wells Fargo Arena, Exira-Elkhorn-Kimballton 30, MMCRU 21. Fans official state tournament merchandise now available online. Time to get your smartphones out and just scan that QR code on your screen, or you can visit IGHSAU.org to browse and customize your merchandise to match your style. IGHSAU.org. First half in the books, a little 8-0 spurt to finish out the half gives Exira-Elkhorn-Kimballton a little bit of breathing room. Laurel, what do you see statistically that made the biggest difference in that first half?
Well, I think the thing that made the biggest difference was that Exira-Elkhorn-Kimballton got hot down the stretch, and they did get that separation in the last minute and a half, 2 minutes, and brought their shooting percentage up to 56%. And neither team, well, Exira-Elkhorn-Kimballton shooting it well from the three-point line, have not been to the free throw line. Turnovers have been at a minimum, and so this ball game is being played very well, very cleanly. They're taking care of the basketball. They're getting the most out of every possession, and I think those are the things. The rebounding edge over to MMCRU, but they haven't been able to do anything with offensive rebounds, and there haven't been a ton of offensive rebounds.
Yeah, a couple of things that stand out to me. First of all, you see the 7 turnovers, like you said. I mean, they've neutralized each other on that. There hasn't been a really... both teams have gotten really good offensive possessions, and when they have turned it over, the teams have taken advantage equally on either side, so that really hasn't gone one way or the other. But how about this? In the second quarter, Exira-Elkhorn-Kimballton 9 for 11 from the floor, including 3 out of 4 from three-point land. There was a moment in this game where both teams were under 25% shooting in that first quarter. All of a sudden, boom, 82% shooting for Exira in the second quarter, and 45%, 5 of 11 from the floor for MMCRU in the second. But when the other team makes 9 and you make 5, that doesn't translate to winning basketball. And Exira, if they can keep that up, it's going to be tough to beat them, even with just the 8 players. We keep talking about that, yet I'm seeing 23-0. They haven't gotten beat this year.
There's a reason they're 23-0. I mean, we have not seen them really play. We just know of their reputation. We know their statistics coming in here. And yes, you look on paper and you go, well, gosh, they only have 8 players. How are they going to be able to keep up? But they're 23-0 for a reason. They're here for a reason because they know how to do it with the personnel that they have.
And we saw a few different players like Dreckman and Hillbrands that seem to be matchup problems offensively, and they have found ways to actively and responsibly double and find ways to not allow easy shots. Now, both Dreckman and Hillbrands have double-figure scoring already. They both have 10 points each, but, it's when no one else has found a way to score at all, that makes it very, very different for, you're going to need a third or a fourth player to step up there. The only other point came from Taylor Harpino, who made one free throw out of two that she had at the line. Every other point was either Dreckman or Hillbrands in that first half. So somebody else is going to have to step up and knock down some shots for MMCRU, and they'll have the ball to start this third quarter.
Yeah, they definitely need to find a third scorer and maybe even a fourth scorer.
It'll be Harpinaugh inbounding it to Cora Alesh. And MMCRU's got it as we switch sides. There's a nice pass finding Dreckman. Harpinaugh, perfect pass on the cut.
Yeah, great pass, lead pass as Dreckman makes that slash to the basket.
NBA three, she was on fire, was Rasmussen, hitting a couple of threes before the end of the half. Kick out, Grubbs on this second chance points.
So was Grubbs. She was hot right before the half, and she has not cooled down.
Rasmussen 7, Burmeister with 10, Grubbs now with 13 to lead all scorers. Dreckman over to Harpinaugh. Dreckman surveys, tries to get it down to Hillbrands, inside out, good look for Harpinaugh, hits the three, great offense there from the Royals.
Their first two possessions of this third quarter have been executed very well.
I mean, an adjustment was made. Head coach Jillian Lecce, she had these girls ready to come back out here. It's just, can they get stops? Imgarten a three. That one's short. Good rebound by Alesh. And she'll bring it up the floor. One-handed pass all the way down to Harpinaugh. Hillbrands, kick out. Dreckman a three. Got it!
3 possessions. They've scored 3 different ways on those 3 possessions.
33-29 is our score. Kick out. This is a nice backdoor cut and a foul. Rasmussen on the drive. The score 33-29 in favor of be 2-shot. Rasmussen makes the first. Rasmussen 60% at the line this season. Nothing but net, 2 for 2. That extends the lead back up to 6. A good response here from MMCRU. Can they continue their hot start to this half? Here's Dreckman. Lost the dribble. Gets it back to the top. Alesh gets tripped up on the deck. It'll be a held ball.
And that's going to go Exira.
Yep. Jillian Lecce was trying to call a timeout, but you can't call timeout when you don't have clear solo possession of the basketball. 6:03 to go.
That was really the first possession for MMCRU that didn't have a good flow to it. They seemed to get a little stagnant on that possession.
Outside. And there's going to be a second time that it's happened to Hillbrands. As soon as that second hand touches the back, it is an immediate call. Gregory Hinn, the official on the call there. That's the second time it's been called, and it is in the rule book. As soon as you get 2 hands in the back of a posting up player or a driving player, that is an immediate foul.
Yeah, it is automatic, and they're just going to call that. And
visually, it's easy to call. You see 2 hands touch, time to blow the whistle. Swish on a 3, deep one from Macy Imgarten. She's tried it a few times, finally got one to drop.
Finally got one to go and just sized it up, took her time, and knocked it down.
MMCRU looking for another response, down 9. Both teams have warmed up shooting the ball here the last couple of quarters. Just under 5.5 to go. Dreckman directing traffic. Her entry pass. That's a triple team on Hillbrands. Kick out Harpinaugh a little bit to the left, and then a foul on the rebound. Going to be called on Maya Holmes, who just entered the game.
That was a textbook definition of a triple team. Yep. I mean, as soon as that ball went to Hillbrand, she was draped by 3 white jerseys.
There were 2 already there before the pass, and when she received it, the guard came down to dig it out. She did a good job of kicking out to an open player, but it's going to be hard to imagine she's going to be able to score if they're going to throw 3 bodies at her like that.
Well, she did the right thing, obviously kicked it out. They didn't get the result they wanted.
Grubbs tries the English off the glass, can't get it to fall. Hillbrands does get the rebound, and she'll push it ahead. Alesh with it. And she'll slow it down. Hillbrands, top of the key, high post. She can score from there too. Up, under, got it again.
There's your variety of moves again.
And she's got the whole menu out. You know, she's flipping pages, trying to figure out what will work, and she can knock down the mid-range jump shot too, so you can't sag off of her either.
Once she gets it down that low, she's pretty efficient.
And Emgarn hasn't done a bad job as there's a quick steal. Harpenaugh trying to go all the way, length of the floor, draws contact, can't get the foul call though. Alesh on the board and the putback.
They stayed right with it and got the putback.
And that's why you hustle down the floor. 38-33 the score. Exira Elkhorn Kimbleton still with the lead, but MMCRU definitely showing offensive signs of life here.
It's little plays like that that can spark a team.
Rasmussen hands it off to Grubb. Grubb leaves it for Burmeister. Back to Rasmussen. Emgard wants another one. This one off. Good rebound in traffic by Alesh. And now she's going to go all the way, give it to Hillbrands. Hillbrands goes back to the spin, cannot get the finish, tries to get the rebound, does. Dreckman, a 3-ball, got it!
She has been big here in the third quarter, knocking down a couple of 3-balls.
Timeout. Exira, Elkhorn, Kimbleton. We got a ball game here. Spartans 38, Royals 36, 3.5 to go. We'll take a timeout. Good one brewing here in the Class 1A quarterfinals here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
3:29 left in the third quarter. Exira-EHK 38, MMCRU 36. Early on in this third quarter, it was a 10-point spread, but Laura, this Royals team has absolutely exploded here in this third quarter. They have scored 15 points already in this frame after scoring all of 21 in the entire first half.
Well, they really have come out and feel pretty good about their game plan here for the last 2 quarters, playing with a lot of confidence.
Now remember, Exira went 9 for 11 from the floor in the second quarter. Well, MMCRU is going to be rivaling that the way this is going here in this third quarter. It was 30-21 going into the halftime locker room, and they've outscored Exira 15-8 so far here in this quarter. Grubbs all the way, a little wide on the shot off the glass, got her own rebound. It's still loose, no whistle. Here's Burmeister from mid-range.
Again, everybody scrapping on the floor after the loose ball. End result is 2 points.
And now I'm surprised when shots don't go in, as hot as both of these teams have been. Here's a 3. Bork! Yes, another!
You can just see the confidence overflowing on both sides of the court.
The shooters are starting to take over this game on both sides, and it's a 1-point game. Outside, underneath. Here's the kick out. This pass, and it's going to be a traveling violation. Good defense by Harpenaugh. Substitution into the game. Molly Rasmussen will come back in after a very short spell. It's your IMT insurance substitution. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. Things have gotten very interesting here after Exira opened up a 10-point lead early on here in this third quarter. Dreckman over to the right wing. Harpenaugh looking down low. Now goes cross-court with it. One tough dribble. Nice lay in there by Maya Holmes. It's almost like they forgot she could shoot.
They went right over the top of the zone and the top of the defense right into Holmes' hands, and she makes a nice power move.
MMCRU, their first lead since early on in the first quarter. Here's Grubbs, kick out wide open look. That one just short by Molly Rasmussen, who hit 2 from that exact spot in the first half. Harpenaugh back over to Holmes. Holmes lobs it down, and there's going to be a foul on the catch as the help was trying to hustle back and get down there before Hilbrands had a chance to make the catch.
Just a little too late, and I think Elisa Partridge is going to pick up that foul trying to double down.
Hasn't been a lot of fouls in this game. That's just the first team foul on Exira here in this second half. MMCRU just 3 in this half so far. Catch and shoot. Bork, she's feeling it. Has a long 2, 43-40. Remember, nobody except for 2 players had scored any buckets at all for MMCRU in the entire first half.
Contributions from a lot of different players here in the third quarter.
Rasmussen has it knocked away by Holmes. Holmes shuffles it over to Bork. Here's Dreckman. She hustles ahead. They have numbers. Harpenaugh, catch and shoot. Oh, can't get it to go. The place would have erupted on that. And now a counterattack. Here comes Partridge. Has it knocked away by Dreckman from behind. What great hustle. Here's Harpenaugh. Her pass to Holmes. She puts it off glass too strong. Harpenaugh is there for the putback. What a quarter for MMCRU.
And I'm telling you what, as soon as Dreckman got that ball in her hand, she is looking up the floor. Where can I outlet this to get the break going? And she found the right person.
A 15-point swing in 7 minutes of play. They were down 10, now they're up 5. Back out top, Rasmussen. You have a feeling the Spartans need a score here. 35 seconds left. Head coach Tom Peterson, he's taken this team to state 5 separate times, and he's shouting his instructions. Burmeister over to Imgarten. Who's it going to be here for the Spartans? Grubbs. Probes. Imgarten thought about the long 3. Instead, backs it down, leaves it. Rasmussen with it. 12 seconds. Grubbs. Imgarten. Deep 3. Big time shot. Macy Imgarten. 3 seconds left. Harpenaugh's going to have to let it fly. She does. Mid-range, short. What a quarter. MMCRU were down by 10. End up taking a 5-point lead, but a huge 3 by Exira's Macy Imgarten makes it a 2-point spread as we head to the 4th. Stay tuned for this one, folks. We got a good one brewing here in the Class 1A quarters. We'll be right back with the 4th on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise, and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
You are my favorite place to go. You're at the end of my favorite.
You work hard to feed them well. That's why at Fairway, we work hard to give you the freshest produce, the highest quality meat, and the most affordable prices.
I got it.
Fairway Meat and Grocery. It's what we're all about.
Well, everything that we talked about with Exira, Elkhorn, Kimballton has come true for MMCRU in the 3rd. Before we start the 4th, as a reminder, Central College has a tuition price of less than $20,000, and that means the college experience that opens doors for a lifetime is now more affordable than ever, and scholarships are still available. Apply today at central.edu. 45-43, as hot shooting as you're going to see from 2 teams in separate quarters as Dreckman pulls it back, a little step back, 18-footer, knocks it down. She's got 20.
Well, you asked what the percentages were in the third quarter for MMCRU. They were 10 of 16 in that third quarter, 63%.
The drive, Grubbs is blocked. Dreckman gets credit for the block. Ball is loose. No held ball, and eventually comes out to the Royals. Here they come the other way, leading by 4. Here's Alesh, runs right into the defender, a charge.
And that's where the ball handler needs to recognize and understand that it's okay to pull up and shoot that mid-range jumper. You don't need to take it all the way to the rim.
You know, and it's a good finish by Alesh to fight through that contact, but, I mean, her feet could have been dried in concrete as long as she was standing there, Elisa Partridge, and did a great job of taking the charge. Here's Grubbs. Cross-court pass. Partridge. Burmeister with it. Leaves it back for Partridge. She trips coming through the lane, but gets it to Imgarten. She goes baseline. Double-teamed. Shot is blocked. Loose out of bounds. It'll stay here.
Tries to fight her way through the double team and going right at Hillbrands, who has those 3 fouls.
It was a tight, pretty even first quarter. Exira Elkhorn Kimballton exploded in the second. That was answered by MMCRU going nuts in the third. The Spartans with it, down by 4. Still just under 7 minutes to go here in regulation. Grubbs gets in the paint, kicks it back out to Partridge. Very patient are the Spartans here the last couple of possessions. Inside, good finish, up and under by Shea Burmeister.
Boy, she got up too on that. She got up and hung in the air and got it off the glass.
Harpenaugh with it, hands it off to Dreckman. Dreckman, another step back. This is a 3, just short. Hillbrands the board, had it knocked out of her hand momentarily, but regathers and lays it in. Stick-to-itiveness.
Persistence, and just stayed with it, kept that ball up above her head, went right back to the glass.
I give credit to Rasmussen for getting the poke on the first attempt. Little screen, Grubbs goes with that left hand, so dangerous with it.
She did that several times in the first half, and that was able to give them that momentum in the second quarter. They've kind of gone away from it here in the second half.
Yeah, that is certainly her preferred method of scoring, with the left hand on the drive, and she hasn't missed really doing that. Here's Dreckman, lines up a 3, misses, long rebound tipped and taken by Partridge. Just a 2-point difference here as Grubbs will bring it into the front court for the Spartans. Exira with it. Oh, that was a slow pass, but it made its way over there. Eventually an open shot for Burmeister, but she can't make it. Hillbrands collects the board. Cora Alesh into the front court. Goes into the corner. Harpenaugh goes down low. Good read by Imgarten, knowing that the entry pass is coming and getting her hand on it.
And was able to get around without fouling.
Maya Holmes comes into the game replacing Jalen Bork. That is your IMT insurance substitution. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. Inbound from underneath their own rim. Throwing it out top. Taken by Alesh. 5:15 to go. Fourth quarter. Alesh tries to hand it off. It'll be a held ball. What an excellent job reading the play and getting her hand in there by Elisa Partridge, who's doing it all defensively.
Yeah, she was fighting through the screen, fighting through the weave that they were running up top, able to get her hands in there and tie it up.
Doing a little bit of everything. Players like Elisa Partridge, they make the world go around for a team. It's only got 8 players. All the way, Grubbs ties it up.
They got a nice screen up top to break her free.
And she showed she could finish with the right hand as well. Here's Hillbrands, high post, over to Holmes. Holmes, she wants to drive. Too strong off glass, gets the rebound, kicks it out. A 3 from Harpenaugh off the rim a couple of times. Partridge is down, slow to get up, and they are going to stop play here so she can get back to her feet.
Several bodies went down really hard, and
yeah, it looked like she just flapjacked on her face right in front of the rim. It doesn't seem too much worse for the wear here, but certainly that'll shake you up. This is a legitimate wood floor, of course. And anytime you can't really cushion your fall, it is going to hurt, especially when you get your upper body and your face anywhere near the floor. But again, she looks like she's all right.
She's checking her teeth. She's making sure that she has all her teeth. And here again, a situation where they only have 8 players.
Yep.
So Coach Peterson didn't want to come on the floor and have to take her out of the ballgame.
They've done absolutely nothing in the way of, we saw Tatum Grubbs into the game for a moment or two. His little step back. Look at Partridge. Has it blocked by Dreckman, but look at the smallest player for Exira Elkhorn Kimballton just having fell on her face over here, flying in for an offensive rebound.
That's where you just shake it off and get back to playing basketball.
Yeah, Tatum Grubbs has given them a couple of minutes off the bench. Other than that, these 5 have been out there the entire time. Harpinall, the steal, trying to go coast to coast. Up, shot I think partially was blocked by Shea Burmeister hustling back defensively. Here's Grubbs. Halfway through the fourth quarter, tied at 49. Winner takes on top seed Bishop Garrigan in the semifinals Friday at 2. Grubbs out to Imgarten. Back to Grubbs at the top. Grubbs surveys, gets another good screen, kicks it out. Burmeister traveled.
Little hop as she received that ball before she put it on the deck.
Even there weren't a ton of turnovers in that first half, but even those have really been pared down for the most part for both teams, and they have both ended up shooting very, very well this last quarter and a half. Here's Hilbrands at the top. She'll get it over to Harpino. And now Dreckman, after thinking about it, launches a three, back rim, and the rebound taken by Partridge. Now the team's just kind of trying to find that offensive rhythm again, and a timeout's going to be called by Exira-Elkhorn-Kimballton coach Tom Peterson, and we'll take it with them. Tied up, less than 3.5 to go. A good one brewing here in the Class 1A quarterfinals. You're watching the Girls Union Network, powered by the Mid-American Energy Company.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
It's hard to get better than this. 49-49. MMCRU trailed by as many as 10 early in the third quarter. Exira-Elkhorn-Kimballton trailed by as many as 6 very early in the game, but has bounced back. And in fact, gave up a huge run in that third quarter. But a three I think that we're going to look back on, especially if they win this game, by Macy Imgarten with 12 seconds left in that third quarter. I mean, if she doesn't make that, you're down by at least a couple of possessions, and I'm not sure, Laura, that this game is going to play out the same way without her making that shot.
Right, and it's just like you say, it could be one play somewhere in the second quarter, in the third quarter, that really turns the tide for a team, and I think you go back to that one, that's going to give them a big boost.
It is Exira-Elkhorn-Kimballton with the basketball in a tie game. Here is Quinn Grubbs. Her entry pass to Imgarten. There's a double team there waiting for her. She'll kick it back out. Grubbs with some space will launch the shot. Swishes home a huge three.
Kind of fading away as well as Dreckman was flying at her.
That gives the Spartans a 3-point lead. Here's Holmes on the dribble. Gets it to Hilbrands. She wants to kick it out. Dreckman faces up. Gets by Partridge. Her shot just cannot come in. Hits the front and then the back of the rim. Unfriendly roll, and then Holmes goes over the back on the foul. That'll be her second. Jalen Bork will re-enter, replacing Holmes. That is your IMT insurance substitution. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. The teams have kind of cooled off shooting the ball here. MMCRU does not want to get down by too much here with just 2:40 to go. Down by 3. Rasmussen thought about a three. Hands it back off Grubbs. Grubbs with the left-hand drives. Leaves it for Partridge. Baseline. Her pass a little wide of the mark. Collected by Burmeister, and Imgarten will settle it back down up top.
Now, smart move. I think they were getting a little ahead of themselves, a little rushed, and now it's time to settle in.
And there's no shot clock, so as long as you're not being pressured with the basketball, you can take as much time off the clock as you can.
They're going to continue to just run this offense, look for cutters, and if they find something high percentage, they're going to take it. Otherwise, I think they're just going to be very cautious.
Back outside, Grubbs, and there's going to be a foul. Now, as we mentioned, Exira only has one team foul, but for MMCRU, that actually isn't a bad move to commit a foul there. Nobody's in foul trouble, and that gives them 6 fouls, so now the next foul would put them in their one-on-ones. The inbound pass into the backcourt, going to be collected by Grubbs. And you probably play defense here for 20, 30 more seconds, then you really have to start thinking about being super aggressive if they're not going to release the basketball themselves. That ball is tipped out of bounds by Dreckman. And many would say this is the one flaw, if you will, in high school basketball, as timeout is going to be called by MMCRU, and we'll take it with them. We'll give you the last 147 when we come back. Exira with the ball, leading by 3, right here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
The thought I was coming back to is that if there was a flaw in high school basketball in Iowa, it is this, that when a team does get ahead, even a three-point game, which has been an instant classic here, we're enjoying the game, but there's nothing that tells Exira-Elkhorn-Kimballton that they have to do anything other than hold the ball or pass it around. And if you're MMCRU, unless you can get a 5-second call with closely guarding, which in a lot of ways is a judgment call based on the officiating crew, you're going to have to foul with 2 minutes left just to get the ball back.
Yeah, and that I know that discussion has been going on for several years, where do you put in that 30-second shot clock and when, and how is that going to happen? And I think eventually we will see that, but here at this moment you have to play it the old-fashioned way and lengthen the game as much as you can by fouling.
Grubbs gets by a couple of defenders, gets fouled, and then scores the shot, but the foul occurred before the shot, so it'll be a 1-and-1. That would have been disastrous for MMCRU. They're going to get Alesh with the foul, and they were trying. As soon as she got past Dreckman in the backcourt, they were going to hack her. And I think that's the right move. You want to extend this game the best that you can, and if you can get it back tied somehow, then all of a sudden we can play this out for real.
Well, there's still a lot of time. There's a minute 42, so extending the game and having that result that they just got at the free throw line.
Yeah, in and out. Quickly down the floor. Bork, a good job. Harpinaugh is fouled as she goes up. That would have been huge if she could have made the shot and get the and one, but she'll go to the line where she's 1 for 2 in the game.
Bork doing a great job of just keeping that ball in bounds.
I saw the pass and I was like, I don't see Hillbrands down there to catch that, but Bork did a great job and then found Harpinaugh off of that. First free throw, no good. Really would like to make this second one. As you said, there's still plenty of time, but it doesn't feel like as much time because we're going to already have to play the foul game even with a 3-point margin. Second free throw, nothing but net. Harpinaugh makes it a 2-point game. Inbound pass tipped by the long arms of Dreckman, but it'll stay with Exira.
They're going to get very aggressive here in the front court, see if they can, or the back court, see if they can get a quick steal. And then, like you said, if you don't get that steal, you might want to foul right away.
Might as well. Inbound pass is going to be to Burmeister. She's going to try to get around Harpinaugh. She does. Lobs it into the front court, finds Partridge. She's got numbers. Great pass. Finds an open Rasmussen. That is a great decision right there by Partridge. Cross court, Harpinaugh. She wants baseline. She's got it open for now, but her shot a little too strong. Rebound underneath. No foul called. Harpinaugh has it blocked by Ingarden. Gets it back, goes up and scores it. Wow.
Persistence, perseverance. Stayed after it and finally got it to go.
And timeout called before the 5-second call was going to be made. And it's going to be a 30-second timeout by Tom Peterson. Clutch by him because I was thinking internally that you were getting close to their 5-second call there. But instead, it's just a timeout. MMCRU, I still don't think you have much choice. Even with 1:04 left, you got to find a way to either get a steal in within 5 to 6 seconds, make a decision to commit a foul. Otherwise, you're going to be giving up easy layups on the other end.
Well, and you've got Dreckman on the inbounder, so she's got those long arms, and she almost had the steal right before the timeout was called. So you're going to have her down there causing problems of them inbounding the basketball. If it gets in, you can't waste any time. I think you got to get the clock stopped right away.
And then hope for a miss. They still have a couple more fouls in the 1-on-1 that they can utilize and hope to get a miss on the front end. And they're going to do what we've seen Iowa State do a few times and run a football play, it looks like, from the end line. Get everybody running in different directions from the out-of-bounds line. Totally legal to do. And they do get it into Grubbs. Grubbs is fouled by Harpinaugh. Grubbs, by the way, 65% on the season, the most prolific by far of any of the free throw shooters for Exira-Elkhorn-Kimballton, but did miss the front end of the 1-and-1s just a few seconds ago.
Well, this is where it comes down to nerves, and see what you can do if you can settle those nerves and knock a couple down.
Front end. Rattles home. And this is a sophomore, remember. Yes, this team has a lot of experience playing in this gym. They have a lot of experience playing at this state tournament. But every moment is a big moment. And even a young player like this, they're going to have some issues fighting some of those nerves off. Her second. Got it. Wow, and after she missed the front end just a few seconds ago to knock both of those down and make it a 2-possession game. Backdoor cut, too wide from Harpenall.
Boy, they had it too. They had the nice backdoor cut. Bork was making that cut on the baseline, just went off of her hands.
With 56.5 left, still plenty of time, especially if you can get a steal or two. But before the inbound pass, it'll be a full timeout taken by MMCRU. We'll be back. A good one brewing here. Exira with a 4-point lead in the ball on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
56-52, Exira Elkhorn Kimballton leading Marcus, Merritt, Claycorn, Remsen Union. 56.5 is still a lot of time, but without the shot clock, Laura, we've already seen the foul game take place. If Exira can make the free throws, they should be in pretty good shape. MMCRU, they're going to have to find somebody to knock down a couple of shots here, and probably from the three-point line, I would guess.
Well, especially if they don't get the steal here and they foul and they make the 2 free throws. Still going to be a 2-possession game, but you need the 3-pointers then to get you back into this ball game.
And they have players who can hit them. Dreckman's hit a couple. Harpenall's made one. Bork hasn't been afraid to shoot them. But we'll have to see. Inbound pass coming from Exira Elkhorn Kimballton. Partridge gets it in once again to Grubbs. Grubbs will be fouled by Dreckman, and they're doing a good job of fouling quickly. They have left themselves plenty of time. It's just a matter of scoring on the other end and maybe getting some help here from Grubbs at the line.
Well, they're getting the ball into the player that they want to have her hands on the ball. She's knocked down a couple just prior to this.
Only M. Garten is a better free throw shooter percentage-wise on the season for the Spartans, and she makes the first. M. Garten 80%. MMCRU was sure not to let her touch the basketball. But Grubbs certainly capable and makes them both again. 4 straight clutch free throws for the sophomore.
Now you got to look for the 3.
Dreckman with it, tries to get loose, pulls it back, shoots a long 3. This one's short. Rebound loose. Dreckman's got it, and then a whistle and a foul. But that does nothing because Exira Elkhorn Kimballton has only committed 2 fouls the entire half so far. That's just the 3rd team foul. Partridge does have 4 fouls, though, however. So you have to keep an eye on that. 43.9. And again, you got to be looking for that 3-point basket.
Waiting for Rasmussen to tie her shoe. Get laced back up.
Dreckman gets it inbounds. Harpenall, it's a 3. In and out. Heartbreaking. Partridge gets the rebound. Grubbs has it knocked away. It's on the deck and still loose, and it will be a held ball. Bodies flying everywhere.
That was a rugby-style play.
Alesh looks like she got clubbed in the nose and is down. MMCRU fans trying to plead their case as to why there should have been a foul called there. But, I mean, when the ball is loose like that and everybody's diving all over for it on the floor and kind of running into each other, it's hard to decide what's happening where, especially this late in the game where you kind of want to let the players try to sort this thing out for themselves. You just don't want to see anybody get hurt like this.
Right, and they certainly let them play through that and finally called the jump ball, but it looks like might have a little blood coming from the nose.
And Alesh, a really good three-point shooter at 41% on the season, has had a hard time getting anything going in this game. But she'll have to exit because of this and because of the blood, as they help her to her feet and will walk her to the sidelines, Kirsten Lecce has entered the game for MMCRU. So Alesh is helped over to the bench, and hopefully she's going to be all right.
If they can get Dreckman open or Bork open, Dreckman's the trigger person. See if she inbounds and they get it right back to her.
Bork's got it. Harpenaugh, they're working it back to her all the way across the floor. Catch and shoot from the left corner of three. This one off the mark. Rebound loose, and it's taken by Grubbs, and she is fouled. And one make here likely puts a stamp on this one.
Well, MMCRU did everything they could to extend this game and still have a shot if these free throws are missed.
2 shots now as they're in the double bonus. First free throw up. How about this sophomore? She missed the front end of the first 1-and-1, but hasn't missed a free throw since, and now it's a 3-possession game with just 24.5 seconds to go. MMCRU exploded with 24 points in the third quarter, but just were unable to keep the hot shooting up here in the fourth. Harpenaugh leaves it behind. Hillbrand's thought about the three. Instead will go in, and they'll give her the layup. Quick timeout taken by the Royals. 15.2 left. I mean, it's one whale of an effort from MMCRU. They were down 10 early third quarter. Could have been easy just to fold up shop and call it good. But you have to give complete credit to Exira-Elkhorn-Kimballton for responding to the challenges and getting themselves lined up and ready for potentially a matchup with number 1 in Bishop Garrigan coming up here in the semifinals in a couple of days.
Yeah, and you look at the scoring, and it was fairly close. It was a 1-point ball game after the first, and then Exira exploded right before halftime, able to get that lead, and then MMCRU came back out with a big third quarter. So both of these teams throwing punches quarter after quarter, and now Exira-Elkhorn-Kimballton seems to have maybe withstood the barrage of punches.
Partridge takes the snap, if you will, and again they find a way to get it to Grubbs, but she loses it, taken by Harpenaugh. She's fouled, no shot. And that's clutch that it's not on the shot, because now it's not even free throws. They'll have to inbound the ball. They are letting them play a lot on these scramble balls, which I think everybody in this gym would prefer, instead of having whistles on every little itty-bitty contact in the state tournament game. Inbound pass to Hillbrands. Only got 10 seconds left. She's going to get into the paint, put it up for 2, is fouled by Emgarten, and she'll have free throws. But again, with only the amount of time left, you would think a 3 is the only way to miraculously find a way to get back into this game. But if she makes both of these, it is a 3-point game, and if you get a steal, as she makes the first, you still have a chance.
So you're saying I still have a chance, and they do. They do if she knocks this one down, and they can get a steal and get somebody set up for a 3.
The shot. In and out. Rebound Dreckman. Got to go right back up with it. Can't get it to fall. Rebound Emgarten with 1 second left. They will call the foul with 0.8. Good job by Dreckman just to get the rebound. If she puts that back up and in, it's a 2-point game. Again, there would be 3 seconds left, and you would need an absolute miracle to make anything happen. But this wasn't meant to be for MMCRU. And now the best free throw shooter on the floor for either team will get 2 shots on this end to put the cherry on top for Exira-Elkhorn-Kimballton. Left-handed free throw shot. And, of course, as soon as I talk about how good she is at the free throw line, back iron. What do you know? I promise you, she's 80% from the line this season.
I'm looking at the stats. I believe you.
She does make the second, and that'll do it. We're going to get a timeout. MMCRU is going to call a timeout. Even with 0.8 left, you play to the final buzzer. So this one is going to be in the books. There's no 5-point shot for 0.8 seconds left. But Exira-Elkhorn-Kimballton will face Bishop Garrigan. Bishop Garrigan is 23-1 this season. They'd had a little bit of problems with Springville getting past them in the game before this one. I think that Exira is going to go in there, even with their small but mighty squad, and feel like we got a shot in that one.
Springville was very scrappy, had a great game plan against Bishop Garrigan, and I think you're going to see the same kind of game plan. These players are going to have to get some rest. They have gone 5 for the most part and just had Tatum Grubbs come in for just a few minutes to sub. But otherwise, it's been these 5 players on the floor, and they're going to have a tough test against Bishop Garrigan. But, we said they're here for a reason. They're undefeated for a reason.
Baseball pass, Harpenaugh. It's going to be tipped, and that'll be it. Dreckman threw up a shot. It went in, but it won't count. And the final score is Exira-EHK 60 and MMCRU 55. Hannah Nelson did also play a couple of minutes, but did not attempt a shot, get a rebound, or anything. Nothing but zeros on the entry sheet that I have here. But doesn't matter. You have a team like Exira-EHK 60 to 55 is the final score there. Again, final thoughts, we'll get those in just a moment, but first let's go down to Tim Fitzpatrick for the awards presentation.
In addition to receiving medallions, each participating player will receive a commemorative basketball provided by the Iowa Farm Bureau, proud title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Presenting awards from the IGHSAU are Gary Ross and Gene Berger. Congratulations, head coach Jillian Lecce and the Royals from MMCRU on an outstanding basketball season. And now, Tatum Grubbs will advance their team to the next round in the official bracket at center court. Spartan fans, your team advances to the 1A semifinals and will play Bishop Garrigan on Friday at 2 o'clock p.m. Fans, on behalf of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union, we thank you for your support and attendance. And as a reminder, please exit the arena by the north doors so we can prepare for the next game.
All right, Quinn Grubbs. We saw Tatum Grubbs with that 2-pound or 2-ton-pound knee brace from her knee injury from earlier in the season, still able to battle through and score it. But Quinn Grubbs, the sophomore, 25 points, 2 rebounds, a ton of clutch free throws as MMCRU try to extend the game. I think she's got to be our Casey's player of the game.
I totally agree. Great efficiency, 9 of 17 from the floor. Couple of three-pointers. As you had mentioned, went to the free throw line, knocked them down when they needed her to, and just did a great job of, I think, running the offense and getting things set up when they needed. They were a little out of sorts. Needed somebody to take control, and she did.
Yeah, absolutely. Casey's proud to sponsor the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and today's player of the game, Quinn Grubbs. Casey's is at the heart of many Iowa communities, cheering on our local teams and fans and making sure there's plenty of fresh pizza ready, win or lose. Sign up for new Casey's Rewards, the rewards program that gives back by letting you redeem points for Casey's Cash, fuel discounts, or donations to local schools. Casey's General Store player of the game, Quinn Grubbs. Final score, Exira-EHK 60 and MMCRU 55. You saw Bishop Garrigan, their only loss of the season was to West Des Moines Valley of all teams by only 4 points, on the road no less. It's a really talented team, Bishop Garrigan, but the game that Springville was able to give them, the 8 seed, the scrappy little 8 seed, you have to feel like Exira, if they can get the effort they got today and withstood a couple of runs by MMCRU, in fact, going down by 5 in the third quarter on a huge swing, I feel like, especially with their shooters that they have and the ability to ball handle, and that's as tight as a 5-player unit you're probably going to see anywhere because they just don't have really anywhere else to go. I think it's going to be a really entertaining ball game on Friday.
I think it's going to be a very competitive ball game, and I think you're right. I think you've come this far in this season with the group of players that you have, and you build unity, you bond together, and you know exactly what the mission is and what the goal is. And they have won every single time they've stepped foot on the floor. And yes, it's going to be a big test for them because they have got, Bishop Garrigan has several players that can score. And it's going to be interesting to see how they handle it and what the game plan is going to be, what they're going to do against Bishop Garrigan to see if they can advance to the championship.
Yeah, like you said, they haven't lost. And there's not going to a quintet of players in any class that's probably played more on the floor together this year than the 5 that were on the floor for nearly every second of this one for Exira-EHK, and they move on with a 5-point win over a very strong MMCRU ball club. And you know what's kind of scary about this Exira-EHK team is every single one of those 5 players that we saw out there, none of them are seniors. So
everybody's back, and I think people in the town, they see this, they see the winning tradition, they see what this team has put together this year, and they'll probably pick up a few more players next year and be even stronger.
Yeah, and MMCRU, they only had 2 seniors on the club this year. One of them, Molly Ryder, that we saw come off the bench, and then Jalen Bork, who was a big factor and a starter. But everybody's back for them as well beyond that. So they're going to be a factor, you would think, next year as well in the Class 1A bracket. But it's Exira-EHK's night, and the Spartans move on 60-55. Laura, this was fun.
It was great. I enjoyed it. We had a great game to call.
Absolutely, and that'll do it for our color analyst, Laura Leonard, and our producer, Anna Bassett, all of us here in Des Moines. I'm Emery Songer, and thank you for watching our live coverage of the 2021 Girls State Basketball Tournament, presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.